Excellent. All right. Nervous system recalibration. Here we come. I'm going to get you, first of all, to do the ha. It's a big, clear ha. And you just like let all of the stagnant air out of the bottom of your lungs. So you want to take a nice wide base. You want to lift and roll your shoulders into the back of the sockets. And actually, let's just give our heads and our shoulders a little roll and restack. Bend your knees, take your hands together, left and right hemispheres of the brain, waking them up. Rubbity-dubbity-dub, create some heat between your hands. Take a nice big breath in. As you sigh the breath out, drop your knees down, keep rubbing your hands, breathing in. I want you to imagine you are releasing anything that's been weighing on your shoulders. It's rolling down your arms and into your hands. You're rubbing all the energy into your hands, between your palms. And then take your hands apart and just take a moment to play with the vibration, that kinetic energy you've just created between your hands. We're going to take our hands apart and together. And then you want to kind of squeeze that energy and interlace the fingers like so. And you drop down, and like a wood chopper, you push the floor away with your heels. You breathe in deeply, stretch upwards, and then you just do this. Ha! But keep your torso straight. Push the floor away, lengthen upwards, breathing in. Ha! That's it. And you bend from the hip joints. Keep looking up. Breathe in. Ha! Breathe in. Ha! Top the wood. Breathe in. Ha! Breathe in deeply. Ha! Let it all out. Breathe in. Ha! Straight arms. Ha! Breathe in. Ha! Deep breath in. Ha! 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 3 more big ones. And release the hands down. Ooh, just feel toe a little bit floated together. I'm just going to get you to take a hand on your heart, the other hand on top. Take some slow, smooth breaths and imagine the breath is literally coming into your heart center and then out of your heart center. You might want to close your eyes. Have a relatively wide stance with your feet. As you breathe out, feeling that breath just softening internally down your body through your feet and into the ground. Inhaling through the heart, expanding. Exhaling, grounding. Taking your left hand behind your head onto the ridge of your head here and taking the right hand onto the forehead. Slightly lift your head up so you get a stretch through the back of your neck. Keep the eyes closed and just breathing here so it feels like your head is very supported. Might want to put a bit of pressure between the hands. Let your facial muscles relax. As you exhale, softening. As you inhale, expanding. Beautiful. Just crossing your hands across your heart now, and the fingertips. I'm just going to tap here. I'm going to get you just to kind of rock from side to side. So you move your weight a little bit from side to side. Just kind of rocking. And tapping, tapping. We're going to breathe in and then just hum the breath out. So the buzzy bee breath. As you tap. So we're going right into the lymph area, just near the armpits. Breathing in. A kind of a buzzy bee, sighing breath out. Deep breath in. Just a couple more of these, tapping. Very good. Now take these fingertips and just put them on your clavicles here. Tuck your chin down, and as you breathe in, slide your chin up towards the ceiling as you pull your fingertips over your clavicles. So you lengthen and stretch the front of your neck. And then drop the chin right down. Put your fingers back on the clavicles and breathing in. Sliding that chin up as you slide your fingers down. This is the anti-tech neck exercise. Drop the chin. One more. Fingers on clavicles. Slow chin up. Stretch. And down. Fantastic. Put your right hand on your left shoulder and left hand just underneath your armpit here. So you're kind of pressing into that lymph area. And then just tilt your head over towards the left side a little bit. And then take your eye gaze over to the right. Breathe in deeply. Sigh or hum the breath out. And as you sigh the breath out, gently kind of push this left hand down like that. Breathing in. Feel your shoulders dropping. Breathing in. Looking with just your eye gaze over to the right. Good. And then just press your head up into the center and swap. Left hand on shoulder, right hand on the armpit here, tilting the head over towards the hand, pressing the shoulder down, dropping the shoulder down as well, and eye gaze over to the left. Breathe in, buzzy bee breath out. Deep full breath in. One more. And back into the center. Whoa, feel really sleepy now. Take your feet a little bit wider. Toes slightly out, dropping down into your goddess stance. Floaty fingers, like you've got paintbrushes on your fingertips. Drop the hands. Float the fingers up, 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 up. Fingertips up. Come back so you can see my fingertips. Exhale, coming down. Double breath in. So we breathe in once, and then we breathe in again to float the fingers right up. And then slow down. It feels like you're pressing your fingertips through water. So imagine you're underneath the water. And these paintbrush fingertips, as you press them through space, you've got like phosphorescence coming out of your fingertips, painting phosphorescence through the water. So imagine that. So you want to get a kind of gliding, flowing, and then once you've got the hands, add a little bit of movement through your chest. So you press the back of your body up, and then you lead with your chest coming down. Press your shoulders up and float down. That's it, good. Feet a little bit wider for a nice stable big base. Breathing in again, We're flaring the rib cage out to the side. One more, floaty fingers. Hold the top of the breath. Hands just landing above the knees like so. Drop one shoulder down, rinse, rinse, rinse. Exhaling. Slowly coming to the center. Inhaling, exhaling other side. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Breathing in, and then as you breathe out, you want to feel like you're just rinsing the dirty water out of the mop. Like timber, breathe in. Let's just pause here. Really rinse. Rinse, 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 rinse. Inhale. We'll pause on the other side. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And back into the center. Swish your hips from side to side as if you've got a tail. Like that. Yeah. Rinse, rinse through the hips now. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Like that. Swish, swish, swish. Now we're going to go into the inner thighs. So we're swishing to one side. We're pulling the toes up. And you're spreading the toes, remember, with this one. Nice stretch on the soles of the feet. Stretch up here into the inner thigh muscles, these adductors. Just make sure this naughty knee doesn't float in. Good. And then we might turn the chest and look up and maybe even take the hand up if that is serving you. Yeah, so this is just an extension if you feel balanced. And then slowly coming down, swish your bum to the other side, pull the toes back, spread them, inner thigh stretch. Maybe slowly unfurling, fingers towards the ceiling like a fern. And then maybe looking down, getting into the neck here. Very good. And then coming down. Now round your back towards the ceiling like an angry cat. And then lift your heart, drop your shoulders, stretch, and round and squeeze everything out of your shoulders. And then lift your heart, lift your tail, spread your sitting bones. And breathe out. And breathe in. That's it, and breathe out. And breathe in. One more, breathe out. And then push the floor away. Slowly come up, swivel your feet to one side. So I'm going to the right here. So we're going to come into Trikonasana, pull your hips back, roll your back hip forward like a training wheel, stretch out through the fingers, drop the hand. Now bend into this standing knee, this front knee a little bit, hand down, bend the elbow, nice floaty fingers again, and then float your fingers up towards the ceiling. So bring your organs across the body, float them up, and then maybe straighten that front leg. Beautiful. We'll do it again. Dropping down, bend the elbow, float those painty fingertips all the way up. Good. One more time. Down, float and swivel. And actually one more time. Down, float and swivel. Good. Drop this bottom shoulder in slightly and draw this top shoulder back slightly. Like that. Either looking up or straight ahead, or if it serves you, looking down. Bend into that front knee. Slide the arm up and back, up and back, up and back. And then push the floor away and be all floaty as you come up. Both feet in front, both feet over to the left. Back hip swivels forward so that we kind of turn the pelvis. Extend those left fingers, drop the hand, bend the knee slightly, hand draping down, elbow floppy, fingertips paintily. That's not a word, painty. floaty, swirly, stretchy, unwinding. And then down, bend the knees slightly, bend the elbow, float those fingers up, and then down. Breathe in as we unfurl the fern frond, and down, last one. Ooh, and just hold it here. Maybe increasing the twist, dropping the bottom shoulder in slightly, top shoulder slightly back. Maybe. And then looking down, bend the knees, slowly come back up again. Bend those knees, and we're slapping, and we're slapping, and we're slapping. Like this. Like you are the inside of a washing machine. Flop, flop, flop. Bend and slap, and slap, and slap. And come up and slap around the hips, into the lower back. Slappity slap. Ooh. Ooh. Cool. Floppy hands, floppy, floppy. Good. All this rhythmic movement, this rhythmic out breath is incredibly calming on the nervous system. We can use this kind of stuff to very quickly go from all the rushing and the doing into a state where we actually feel embodied. Good. I feel really floppy already. So we're going to do this now. So almost like you've got two trunks, like an elephant, and you're like swish, 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 swish. That's it. Swish, swish, swish. So try and hinge from the hip joint as opposed to bending down. Keep your torso relatively straight and give a little bounce into your knees. Swish, 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 swish. Good. Right. Both arms up and then both arms down. Both arms up, both arms down. You might even come up onto the balls of your feet. Down. Breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Breathe in and down. Hands above the knees. And let your head drop. Flop. Give your head a shake. Shake your cheeks. Slowly come up a little bit, so straight back here. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Loosey-goosey cheeks. Breathe in again. This time you want to push down and out with your feet a little bit, opening up the hamstrings. Oopsie guys, where have I gone?
Yeah, Linda just disappeared.
Oh,
now you're back.
I'm back. Hopefully this will be okay to keep going. Am I back? All good? Okay, so we were doing, this isn't good, okay, really, and then we're doing this. We're going to come down onto the ground into downward dog. So nice wide hands onto your mat, keep your bum high, and slowly walk your feet back, bit by bit. You want to imagine someone's got your tail and they're lifting your tail like you are being pulled back and up. So keep your back straight, keep your knees bent, and then stretch your spine. Once you're as stretched as you can be, bend one knee and then the other. So you're opening up the calf muscles. I'm just going to move this down a little bit now. So you're opening the calf muscles, one side and then the other. Beautiful, well done. Keep those sitting bones lifted and spread. One side and then the other. Push your knees across the midline of the body. So you're going right into those hips, like so. Beautiful. And then dropping down onto your knees. Extended child pose. So fingers out in front of you and lengthening the spine as you drop your pelvis back, stretching into the armpits, I'm going to get you to take a deep breath in, parachuting your back towards the ceiling, and then just sigh the breath out. So you're doing a couple of these expansion, release, expansion, through the back of the body, release, and again. Get a bit noisy with your exhalation. Good. And just resting here for a moment. You might want to take hands underneath the forehead or maybe stacking fists. Let your jaw be super relaxed. Let your face be super relaxed. So we're opening up the pelvis, the back of the pelvis here, stretching into those glutes, stretching into the lower back, opening up into the groin and opening up the back of the rib cage so we can get nice, deep, full breaths right down into the area of the lungs where we have most of our lung capacity. Very good. So slowly now, slowly, deliberately coming up onto all fours. Bring your bolster a little bit closer. You might need to take a blanket underneath your knees as well. So if you find that having your hands flat on the ground, take your blanket underneath the wrists. So there's just a little bit of height under wrists, or you can always roll up your mat and put the front of your mat under your wrists. So always be kind to your wrists. All right, we're going to take our knees pretty wide. Take your right hand onto your shoulder, drop your elbow down, and deliberately breathe in and lift at the same time, opening up the rib cage here. Now breathe out completely and with a big sigh like this. Breathe in deeply through the back of your nostrils, like you've got big caves at the back of your nostrils. So we get a twist with the breath. And again. Very good. Other side. Fingers on shoulder. Breathing in. Sigh it out. Good. Both hands just down underneath your shoulders. Push your hands into the mat, push your shins into the mat and round your back towards the ceiling. So you're pressing every little bit of puff out of your lungs. And then let the breath seep back into the bottom of your lungs, the middle of your lungs, the top of your lungs as you come into your cow. And then exhale, make that squeezy release of breath, push you into angry cat. Slowly expanding the breath into your lungs, pulling you into an extension into cow. Exhaling, press every bit of puff out of your lungs, every bit of puff. Push the floor away with hands, with knees, with shins. And then let the breath pull back into you. And again, exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Extend. That's it. Good. Now bring your knees a bit closer together. Take your hands a little bit further away from you and a little bit wider. We're going to breathe in to drop the pelvis down. Deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, We take a full big circle with the pelvis around. So we want to make it a slow, extended exhalation. Breathing in, breathing out. Try and make a bit of noise or a buzzy bee breath out. Breathing in here. Good. Breathing in. Other direction. Breathing out. Breathing in. Very good. Bring your knees wide. Grab hold of your bolster. Place it just across the mat and then slide your knees wide. And you want to see if you can take your toes out with your heels in. Right, okay, so if you can, come down a little bit lower so that your chest is draping onto your bolster and arms are out in front. So you're like one of those water boatmen that sit on the surface of the water, trying to take up as much surface space as possible. Now, it's quite a deep stretch on your inner thighs. Keep your bum high here. You might need to bring your knees back in a little bit. And I'm going to get you to visualize a candle melting. And every time you breathe out, see if you can soften your facial muscles and feel like the front of your body and your inner thighs are just melting like a candle. I like to do the buzzy bee breath with this. I find it really very helpful. Chin tucked in. Really melty. Good. And then gently press yourself up. Bring the knees a little bit closer together. Just forearms on your bolster. Push it forward. Drop your pelvis back and then slowly rock yourself forward. So we just get a bit of a stretch through the front of the pelvis. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, you might want to add the buzzy bee breath. Breathing in to rock and breathing out. Now you might drop the pelvis and lift the heart center. If that doesn't feel good on your lower back, don't do this bit. Just keep it the rocking back and forth. Otherwise, breathing in, breathing out, and then a little kind of snake-like lift at the end. And out, either pausing here or a drop and a lift. Keep the shoulders back and down. In fact, if you're doing this, maybe lift your chin as well so we get that nice stretch on the front of your neck. And one more. I'm going to get you to all drop down now. Let your prop, your bolster or your pillow, just go on your rib cage. Your chest is just above, and your forearms are in front of you. You might need a blanket to bring your forearms a little bit higher. So we're just kind of resting here in a supported sphinx. Keep your shoulders down. And we're just breathing, extending the back. Keep focusing on that lovely long exhalation, that buzzy sounding exhalation. As you release your breath, feel your lower jaw softly unwinding from the upper jaw. Good. Now we're just going to release the shoulders a bit more. If you take your prop over to one side, so I'm going to take it to my left, and I'll just come here so you can see. I'm just putting my arm on it, and then the shoulder is just dropping off. The arm on the pillow or bolster, shoulder just off it, other hand on the ground, pushing the floor away, slightly bending. So this is my right arm, right knee. And then because my arm is lifted on the prop, I'm getting a stretch right here into these pectoral muscles, lymph area, inner side of the shoulder. So you just turn your head as well. Breathing in, soft breath out, melting towards the ground. Breathing in. Good. And then slowly bring that prop to the other side. I'm just resting. Left hand out, pushing the floor away with the left hand, turning, bending the left knee, and then just softening. We want to gently, so don't push, just gently open the inside of the shoulder. That's the way. Coming back into the center here, and take the bolster in front of you for a moment. One hand on top of the other, chin tucked in, forehead resting onto the back of your hands, toes in, heels out, and just jiggling from side to side. So you're rocking from one hip bone to the other, massaging your belly. I'm going to get you to do 3 buzzy bee breaths out. So a hum on the exhalation. With the chin tucked in, we've got this real constriction on the back of the throat. So it's a much more powerful buzzy bee. Good. Just come and rest in stillness for a moment. Become very aware of the pulse, of the blood pumping through your tummy. You might tune into your heartbeat. Very aware of the feeling of your body, the front of your body pressed into the ground. Just notice how a bit of pressure on the forehead in that third eye space between the brows can be really calming on the mind. So I'm going to get you just to take one arm, so I've got my right arm here, and take the hand down to the hip and just lift and roll the shoulder into the back of the socket. Now, you might need the assistance of your blanket or a belt if you've got a belt. So we're going to roll the shoulder up and then into the back of the socket and then bend the knee and grab hold of the ankle. So if you've got a belt and that's a bit far away, put the belt around your ankle, or you could use your blanket like that. Yeah, so if you're feeling a little bit tight through the front of your legs, your quadriceps or your psoas, then it might be good just to have a prop here. So we want to now go back to that buzzy bee breath, and this time press the pubic bone down into the ground. So the front of your pelvis presses into the ground with that exhalation. So we open the psoas. This helps relieve back pain. Great for the nervous system. So let's breathe in. Buzzy bee breath out as you gently press the pelvis into the ground. Breathe in, one more breath out. Beautiful, just drop that side, give the leg a bit of a swap hands. Right hand under the forehead, nice big roll up and back with the shoulders. So we really want to mobilize the shoulders up all the way into the back of the socket and then leave it there. So we've got a bit of activation between the shoulder blades here and these rhomboids. Grabbing hold of the ankle, breathing in deeply, and then gently melting, pressing, kind of softening, opening the front of your pelvis into the ground. So pubic bone down, bikini line kind of dropping into the ground here. Breathing with the buzzy bee breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Beautiful, well done. Good, dropping that foot. Give your feet a little tap like that. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Just gonna roll onto our backs. Oh, arms out, feet out. In fact, if you've got your bolster, put your feet on your bolster, lifting your feet up a bit. Now we're going to drop the knees from side to side, nice wide feet, and we're window wiping the knees from side to side. So very slow, knees apart, and then knees drop to one side. That's it. Knees apart, and then knees drop. Now, with your breath out, side of breath out, gentle pressure with the inside of the knee into your prop, or if you haven't got a prop, into the ground. You can slow this right down. If this feels too fast, just slow it down. Use your breathing. So we're going right from the inside of the knee, right up through the front of the leg, into the pelvis, into the lower back. Internal rotation, little bit of activation through the glute, help that internal rotation. Good. Feet on the bolster, pushing down, rolling up and down the spine. And you want to articulate the vertebra one at a time, up and down, so we can feel that we're massaging the vertebra like that, up and down. And if it feels good, just pause here. If it doesn't, just keep going with the moving flow. If this feels good, draw the shoulders underneath your body and maybe even interlace the hands and press the hands and the forearms into the ground, and then try and press your pubic bone up a little bit more, and imagine someone's holding your knees, your kneecaps, and just kind of pulling them towards the wall opposite. Take a nice deep full breath in, so you expand the front of your lungs. And then take the hands nice and wide, and as you breathe out, pull your shoulders out and just kind of massage your back down onto the ground, one vertebra at a time, very slowly, over a few breaths, exhaling, like smoothing, and just rest here for a moment. Good. So we're just going to pull this prop under the pelvis. If this feels too high, fold your blanket instead. Use your blanket and just fold it to a height that feels nice. So when you're on your prop, just wriggle your pelvis so you feel like you get a bit of a stretch through your lower back. Nice little kind of lengthening stretch here. So I'm going to get you to focus on making your eyeballs feel really heavy in the sockets. This encourages the muscles between the brows and around your eyes to really soften. And this in turn softens your cheeks and your jaw and your tongue. And this facial relaxation helps the psoas muscles to soften and the pelvic floor muscles to just release. I'm going to get you to take one hand onto your heart, one hand onto the belly. Just feel as if the breath in is coming into your heart, into the belly area, just kind of expanding, contracting. You can feel the energy contained in the torso, heart, and pelvic bowl. Start to let your knees flop out to the side. And then gently lifting whichever hand is down, so it's my left hand, just lifting that left knee up slightly and sliding your hand down just onto the inside of the knee. So you're holding that knee up. I'm going to slide the left foot away a little bit more. And then sliding that right hand off the heart and up above your head. Breathing here. You might find that lower leg, the right leg, wants to inch a little bit further away. So no pushing, just allowing. that long exhalation melts your body. You will slowly bring the right hand back onto the heart. Bring that left knee in, and we're just going to swap sides. So bring right knee up, left hand onto the heart, and then left foot onto the ground, and let that knee drop out to the side. Pause here. Loose jaw, relaxed face. Maybe as you take the hand up, you take the foot out a little bit further as well. Just see how that feels. Keep visualizing the melting candle, the softening, whole body melting. Oops. Releasing breath. And then when you're ready, just bringing both knees up, hugging them into your chest here. We're just going to press the feet up towards the ceiling so the weight of your legs are just dropping down into your pelvis. Take the hands up as well and give your hands and your feet a big circle, nice big massaging circle. Rotation of the ankles, of the wrists, spreading the toes and spreading the fingers one direction, other direction. Nice stretched, lengthened toes and fingers. Lovely, nice loose jaw. If you're finding that this does not serve you, if you're finding that having your pelvis on the bolster puts any pressure through the head, just take the bolster away, same thing, but pelvis on the ground. And then we're just going to pause here with the weight of the arms dropping into the shoulder sockets, weight of the legs dropping down into the pelvic sockets. And then take your hands into little fists here, just nice loose fists. And just start to jiggle your hands like that and jiggle your wrists. And then jiggle your toes and your feet and your ankles. So you get a bit of a jiggling, wrists and ankles, toes and fingers. And once you've got the vibration going, it's kind of more of a vibration than a jiggling. See if you can jiggle up into or vibrate up into your calves and your forearms and your elbows and your knees. And then into your thighs and your upper arms. So everything is jiggling like jelly now. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. And then jiggle your jaw as well. And breathe in. And then as you breathe out, make some jiggly noise like this. It is scientifically proven to be impossible to hold stress when you're making that noise and you're jiggling. Let's do that again. So we're literally shaking tension out of the fascia just underneath the skin surface. We're rinsing. So I do this standing up and jumping sometimes, and this is another way of doing it. Nice to do this before bed. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. And then pause and just notice the tingling under the skin surface and go, wah, timber. Just push this bolster out underneath your knees now. Turn the palms and flop. And really tune in to the tingling sensation of your body, especially in your hands and in your feet. So this tingling is the awakening of the nadi channels, your energy channels. When we rinse away accumulated tension, we hydrate the fascia as well. When we focus on releasing tension in the body and extending our exhalation, especially when we make low vibrational noise on that exhalation, we activate the nervous system into the parasympathetic state. So we're going into that rest and digest, healing state. And that pulse of energy that you feel through your body, that's also endorphins. And by melting your body into the ground, especially with the back contacting the ground, we are stimulating our oxytocin, that connection hormone, that love hormone. And she is the queen of hormones. When we activate oxytocin, when we do practices that create endorphins, we recalibrate our whole hormone system. We reduce cortisol. We reduce any insulin resistance. Actually, this is how you lose weight. You reduce your cortisol, your adrenaline. You activate all of their hormones, the feel-good hormones that recalibrate the system. So as you lie here, just absorbing your practice, integrating your practice at a cellular level. Try lifting up the corners of your mouth, softening the muscles between your brows, and mentally saying the mantra to yourself, thank you. Just repeating the mantra, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just let that word and the vibration of the word thank you roll over your body. Let it massage over the body and stick to the places that it needs to go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just let yourself become really aware of your tongue in your mouth. Your teeth, the feeling of your teeth, the space in your mouth, and your lips, your nose, The right eye and the left eye. The right ear and the left ear. The top of your head. The back of your head. Your forehead. Cheeks. Jaw. Neck. Chest. Upper back. Shoulders and arms and hands, your torso, your pelvis, back of the pelvis, front of the pelvis, right leg, left leg, right foot and left foot, the whole of your body. The whole of your body. Whole of your body relaxed. And just bringing a little bit of movement to your fingers and toes. Take a conscious, deep, full breath in and out. And sliding your knees up, feet onto your bolster. Very slowly, just rolling to one side. Place the hands onto the floor when you have rolled right over. Pause and push yourself up. Be very, very fluid. Very fluid with your movement. You might need to sit on your bolster. Good. And we're just going to finish the practice with 3 buzzy bee breaths out. So be nice and tall through the spine. Let your head sit right on top of your neck. As you breathe in, follow your breath upwards with your mind's eye through your spine, right up through the crown of the head, and then buzzy bee breath out. Exhale, melting downwards. Breathing in. Just noticing the quality of your mind, how relaxed the muscles are of your face, how soft your shoulders feel. And take the palms out, facing upwards. Very consciously bring your hands together. Once again, at the heart center, bringing those palms together. Just acknowledging self-becoming and practicing. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.